This man
good.
is serving a life sentence for murder.
I'm sorry, I'm a little body conscious, as you can see. I've gained a few pounds.
What the fuck? Bro, is this hot murderer? What is going on right now? Is he gonna show him? Hold on 1 second. I just need to see if there's like a butt or anything, you know? Okay, no butts. Oh, this is gonna piss off. I got 80,000 people. People are about to find out what my opinion is on rehabilitation over incarceration. Uh-oh. I don't think I've ever talked about my opinions on how the criminal justice system should work in front of 80,000 newbies. This is gonna trigger the fuck out of people. I assume like around 15,000 people will leave after this.
Serving a life sentence for murder.
I'm sorry, I'm a little body conscious, as you can see. I've gained a few pounds.
A dip in the frozen lake behind the prison is part of his regular workout routine.
No problem. It's okay. Okay, your turn.
Welcome to life in one of Finland's open prisons. There are no cell blocks here, just dormitories. Inmates come and go in their own cars. When Matti isn't at the nearby university campus, he's in his dorm room, studying for a career in tech.
Some entrepreneurship books, marketing books, user experience, all kinds of digital and IT studies.
And we have this kind of normality principle that prisoners should be treated equally.
Bro, this person is this person's like a fucking warden, pretty much. Like, what the fuck?
Though they are prisoners, but they should have access to same services and rights as other citizens.
In recent years, Finland has been named the happiest and safest country in the world.
Bro, just remember that these motherfuckers live in one of the grayest, darkest places on the fucking planet. Like, places where they have like an entire months where there is no sunlight, or entire months where it's only sunlight. Just remember, and they still crush the happiness metrics. Now, obviously, happiness metrics are not exactly science, but you have to admit, like, seasonal depression is permanent there, and they're still fucking happier. I don't know how they do it.
Citizens here enjoy generous public benefits, universal healthcare, subsidized daycare for children, and free college tuition. Promotional films like this, produced by Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency, document how prisoners are eased back into society, with work opportunities and help from counsellors. And the incarceration rate here is one of the lowest in Europe, a quarter of what it was in 1950. In Finland, only 1 in 3 former convicts ends up back in prison. Compare that to the United States.
Why do you claim capitalism is a failed economic system while praising Finland, which employs a mixed market capitalist economy? I love your streams, but don't understand this conflicting message. Capitalism is not defined by American laissez-faire corporatist materialism. Markets and property rights can coexist with robust social safety nets. Sure, except when you look at Scandinavian countries, they still rely on the death, destruction, and exploitation of the third world. Without that, they still would not be able to exist in the way that they do. So, yes, social democracies or the mixed system that you talk about is great for the European nations, but it's not necessarily great because there's still an underclass, a permanent global underclass that you are constantly exploiting at near slave wages. So that's why I always talk about my opinion on mixed economies or my opinion on social democracy in America, at the very least, as a first step towards an international economic organization that is different than what we currently exist under. I mean, is it encouraging crime? What? Encouraging crime? We should absolutely we should absolutely adopt a more humane approach to criminal justice. It's one of the worst things. It's like America's puritanical approach to sexuality and sex is disgusting to me. It sucks. It really harms a lot of people. And America's draconian attitude to crime is really, really horrible. That's why we currently have a quarter of the entire planet's incarcerated population. It's really just horrific what we do. It's also legalized slavery. The conditions that we subjugate these people to for doing crimes is also horrible. Rehabilitation over incarceration always, so that we can reintegrate these people into society appropriately. Give them a second shot. Conservatives talk about cancel culture, but they're some of the most draconian monsters I've ever fucking seen in my entire life.
States where 2 out of 3 get locked up again within 2.
What if the guy in prison murdered your mother? Same shit. This is not a take that phases me. You are not the first idiot that has tried to test my moral boundaries with personal anecdotes, like trying to personalize it. Same. Doesn't matter. It's still the same. That take every time we talk about crime and punishment. Every time we talk about crime and punishment, someone's like, what if it's your mom? Yeah, same.
2 years of release. A 2018 bill included sentencing reforms meant to reduce what is referred to as recidivism, but they only apply to inmates in federal custody. Just 10% of the 2.3 million people incarcerated in the US. Critics say the 2018 reforms are only a small first step and fall far short of the kind of meaningful change Finland is so proud of. The scale, of course, is different. Today there are fewer than 3,000 in the Finnish prison system. The number of people behind bars in the US is equal to half of Finland's total population. A reimagining of what prison looks like here started nearly 70 years ago, when this Scandinavian nation began building one of the most humane systems in the world. In some of the latest steps, Finland's Criminal Sanctions Agency is investing heavily in...
My man goes, murderers deserve death. Okay, dude. Sure. Oh yeah, do the same thing that you're like upset at the other person over. Eye for an eye, dude. My man is like, I bet people that say stuff like that are always so angry at like, I don't know, Sharia law coming to America, right? Yeah, but then also simultaneously, they're like, all right, let's cut off the hands of people who steal too. You good with that too? Start hacking hands. You know, they stole. The rapist murderer basically is a vacation and job training from the government. You don't think it's ridiculous? Man, the people, especially in my audience, think it's fucking hell when mommy doesn't cook chicken tendies just right and the middle part is a little cold. But then they don't recognize that you're still denying someone their fucking freedom when you're forcing them to live under conditions that you set for them. Making them more humane isn't necessarily a bad thing. You fucking dingus. The purpose of prisons should be to rehabilitate people, not to keep them away from society forever. Because if you have a system that focuses on incarceration over and punishments as a deterrence measure over rehabilitation and reintegration, you get to America's shit recidivism rate And also, you have to just keep becoming more and more torturous. Why would you want that in a civilized country? It's so fucking strange. Now, there are still problems to this because there are still people you simply cannot rehabilitate. And I admit that. Okay? I'm not a full tilt prison abolitionist. I admit that there are people who you simply cannot rehabilitate. Sorry, that's just the truth. You have people with problems, with issues, antisocial personality disorders that act on violent urges that they might have. There are, of course, a majority of people who are sociopathic that do not have violent urges or do not actually act on urges that they might have. More power to them. But there are also, unfortunately, some people who simply cannot control themselves. And that part is certainly an issue. It is encouraging crime and a vacation to Americans because normal citizens in America are treated worse than Finland's prisoners. Yes, this is true. A normal working class condition for an American is literally worse than what looks like a goddamn hotel in Finland. That's how fucking advanced they are. But I love the idiots in the chat who are like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean? Like, this is just good. Like, this is going to encourage crime, when they don't understand, like, this is a future that's possible, okay? We're rich enough that we could do this. Nuts.
Technology training.
The first topic is what is AI? Then the second topic, problem solving with AI.
And building a state-of-the-art smart prison for women. And
it's like, no, don't let him learn how to code. He's gonna learn how to code murder. It's like that same mentality of like, you know, don't let prisoners vote. It's like, why not? What are they gonna do? Vote for crime? Like, oh no, if we let prisoners vote, then they're gonna make crime legal, dude. They're gonna vote to make crime legal. It's so dumb.
Even testing VR to provide an escape from the drab walls and fluorescent lighting of Turku, Finland's highest security closed prison. Mika, who is 10 years into a 15-year sentence, is walking through a 3D forest.
15 years? What did he do? Like, is he a mass murderer then? 15 is like almost maximum, isn't it? It might literally be maximum.
Kamala ottaa nuo lasit pois tiedäksä palata tähän todellisuuteen taas.
He appreciates the chance to interact with VR technology and learn the basics of working with computers.
Sanotaan lisään vielä tämän verran, että tämmöisiä vankeja, ketä on välillä käynyt vapaana ja tullut takaisin, niin on sanonut ihan suoraan, että ei siellä pärjää, niin kuin, että siellä on niin paljon erilaista tämä kaikki niin kuin tämmöiset, että kaikki on niin paljon tietokoneistettua, että olisi hyvä saada sitä oppia.
We try to educate the prisoners to use digital services in a meaningful way so that it would really help them to rehabilitate, that help them to take care of themselves and take care of their daily affairs and the kind of things, the kind of skills that you need when you reintegrate back to society.
Now Finland is investing in the infrastructure to support that readjustment. A €34 million prison that many hope will set the standard for the future.
I know you'll disagree, but I just don't think it's fair for the victim to let the person who killed, raped, live a relatively free life. Virtually any other crime, I think rehabilitation is necessary. I just don't think from a moral standpoint. Yeah, your moral standpoint is broken. Like, it's just broken. Like, That's not justice, that's revenge. You know that, right? You're mistaking justice for revenge. That's not how it fucking works. All right, go fuck him then. All right, how about that? If someone rapes you, then you rape him back. Like, is that how you want to do? Is that how you want to work this? Now imagine in a perfect world where that person then becomes a better person. Imagine now that that person becomes a better person and changes the lives of others in a better way. Tell these good people to read Angela Davis. Yes. And she advocates to vote for Joe Biden too, so don't worry. This is such an idiotic take. Sure, man. It's demonstrably successful in all these countries that we look to, though. Well, of course, if you think that that's an idiotic take, you probably don't believe that, like, Finland exists. Or Norway, like, just doesn't exist. So there's really no reason to talk to you. You can only live your life by constantly coping about how America should be compared to, like, El Salvador or Somalia, countries that we have fucked up personally, by the way, of course. But, you know, countries that we've destabilized personally. That's it. Like, all of these other fucking countries are flukes, okay? They're flukes.
No bars, glass windows, an internet connection in every room, and small touches meant for comfort.
This is our specialty is divan. Yes.
When it opens in this fall, the brand new facility in Hämeenlinna is expected to be Europe's most high-tech women's prison. But just across the road, a reminder of the past. The old facility, built in 1972, once housed both men and women.
My man renamed himself Murat's Porsche. 46% of violent crime isn't even reported in the US, and roughly 60% of the reported crimes end in a conviction. The reported number is nuanced, but the core of it is that the victims don't believe that the state will solve the crime or protect the victim. It's even less for property crime. Of course, I reported like stolen iPhones and shit. They laugh at you. Oh. It is that the victims don't believe the state will solve the crime or protect the victim. It's even less for property crime. Criminal justice in this country is fucking broken, including the metric for how people understand justice versus revenge. Thank you, Murat's Porsche.
It shut down in 2019 after years of disrepair, mold, and other reasons.
This was before toilet.
And where did they empty it?
I take this and put there. The smell was terrible.
And just a few minutes' drive away, a relic built in the 19th century and modelled on the American style of prison that is still widely in use today. Cell blocks arranged in a radial floor plan, prisoners living in solitary confinement. This one is a museum now, preserved to show just how...
Bro, that's insane! Bro, that literally looks like just a regular American prison. Like, this is how American prisons look like now. Our fucking prison system is so broken that people in Finland have it as a lesson from the past of, like, what not to repeat.
To be. For Matti, the road to reform has led him to a career that he would never have dreamed of before. He connected with Reactor, a digital agency that designs online education courses. When they heard he was participating in this story, they invited him to give some feedback on the program.
eager to hear, like, what did you think about the first course? What do you see? What was your general impression about it?
It was shown quite simply what is AI, what isn't AI. So that was really good, and kind of like show that it's not about magic.
Seeing him in this meeting, it's easy to forget that Matti is still serving out his sentence for murder. In that time, he hopes to complete a university degree and start a business.
One way to get kind of like employed is, of course, self-employment. So, and a lot of prisoners have already the entrepreneurial mindset.
Based on Matti's recommendations, Reactor is planning to add an entrepreneurship course to the prison curriculum.
It has like enforced my trust in also like this Finnish prison system, where like giving chances to put people like you, like it's awesome.
After the meeting, Matti heads back to Louka prison, but he is excited for the future.
At the beginning of my sentence, I thought that this is...
I'm not gonna lie, there's something sketch about this dude. He does look a little sus, dude. I don't know if it's because he's like kind of too attractive looking, or he's murdered someone. No, I know, but I don't give a shit about that. Like, I think that you can rehabilitate someone who's murdered someone. If he like, if he, I think it's like he just looks too much like Agent 47, dude. Like, literally, it's freaking me the fuck out. If we had like a super method to know 100% if somebody who committed a murder is going to do so, and this method decides or proves he is for sure not going to do it again, should he or she set free, I think they should pay for crimes at least to some extent. I don't know, community service, nighttime jail, what? He's average in Finland? Dude, what the fuck is up with Finland, dude?
There can only be negative things in being in prison, that basically life is over. But I think you should give people a chance. That's the most important thing.
Hot people getting away with murder.